The dates don't matter, but it was 2011. We're taking our first mission team to the Philippines. I had no idea what I was doing. And we're gonna go look for the sex trade with high school kids. Their parents let me go. They let me take their kids to go. It was a volleyball trip. You know, I was a sports guy. I was in high school coach, right? And so we took this team. I had my administrator say, when he got wind of it, I didn't ask. It's better to ask forgiveness than to ask a lot of times. You know, I say that kind of tongue in cheek, right? If I present, hey, we're going to take the volleyball team, and this year we're going to do 1 week at the volleyball camp in the slums, and then the second week we're going to go find the sex trade. I mean, I knew that would be a no, so I didn't tell anybody. The kids all knew about it. Their parents knew about it, but not my administrator. You know, and he was a very good friend of mine. One day he called me into his office and he says, I'm not exaggerating. I sit down and I'm this far away from him, right here, you know, across the table. And he goes, "What are you doing?" And I knew exactly what he meant. I knew exactly. And I go, "What do you mean?" And he goes, the mission trip. I go, "Oh, it's a volleyball trip. We're going to do what we do. We're going to work with the church in the slums and take the..." No, I heard some other things. I go, "What?" I knew exactly where he was going. I want him to say it. Sex trafficking. How safe is it to go find girls trapped in the sex trade? And I go, how safe is it following Jesus and following in the steps of Paul, who says, I was beat, I was shipwrecked, I was hungry, I was left for dead. I said, how safe is it following Jesus and doing these kinds of things? I said, I don't know. I don't know how safe it's going to be. But I said, we're in a Christian high school. What do you want me to teach these kids? You always say you like me challenging these kids. I said, what do you want to just sit on our butts and read our Bibles? And that's when he said, okay, you've never let me down. 3 days after our final meeting, I'm driving home, and we live out in the country a little bit. There's no lights, no traffic lights and whatnot. I get to a stop sign, and there's a car in front of me, and there's a car over here. So you could really see and past that car. I emphasize it because there's lights going this way in the intersection, a country intersection. And all of a sudden, this man over here to the left, I'm tired. And this man appears. I go, what's he doing in the road? And he looks at me like this. And he walked, let's call this the car. That's me back there in that car, this car. And he walks across like this here. I could see through the windows of the car. And he disappeared. I go, why can't I see him through the windows? And I thought, that was weird. That car goes, and now I'm the only one. And we go to one more mile to another stop sign. And this is the relation right here. The car's right there. I'm right there. There's just two cars now. He appears again, this man. And I go like, what am I know I'm tired. And he looked at me like this. I'm back there. He looked at me, and he walked like this here in front of the car, and he disappeared again. He disappeared. I can't see him. I can see in front. I can see through his rear window and front window. And he disappeared. And I go like, what in the world? And then, this will serve, I guess. So this is the top of the car, right? I can't see him. Now, this is what happened. Then he goes, he appears to me. I'm about that close now. I'm much closer this time. And he goes, and he says, by the way, without opening his mouth, he spoke to me. And he said this, Hollywood does it really good. I hate what you're doing. Especially the sex trade. And he drives off. It drives off. And I'm back there, and I go, I'm a very slow driver, but I go, I'm turning this way. I want to get one more natural look and see the guy sitting on the hood of the car. He wasn't there. And I drove, and my heart rate was going. I wasn't frightened, but I was elevated in my spirit. Now check this out, and believe it if you want or not believe it. You know, it's like, you believe it or not. I'm driving, and God speaks to me, and he says this. He wanted to get on your car. I would not allow him to get on your car. And right now, he wants to get on your car, and he wants to do this. Imagine that noise if someone landed on your car and you're driving 50 miles an hour. You know, he wants to do that. And then God showed me my obituary. All of a sudden, I'm telling you, and I'm reading my obituary. And it says, Kenny Sacht, teacher, coach at Coal Valley Christian High School, has started this thing, Wipe Every Tear, You know, survived by his, all his kids and right? And he goes, he wants to kill you right now. He wants to jump on your car and look in the windshield upside down, this time not as a man, but as he truly is, a demon. Mm-hmm. And I went, oh God. I found myself speeding. It was actually at 40 and I was going 50. That's a big thing for me, right? And I'm yay! And I went back and he goes, that power pole. He wanted you to hit that power pole and for you to die instantly. And in the obituary it says, Kenny fell asleep at the wheel, hit a power pole, died instantly. And God said, that's not going to happen. Guys, that's how we started going to the sex trade.